Y'all remember, I think it was last week or maybe the week before when I was talking about the bat bomb?
The bat bomb, yeah, I remember that.
The bomb that had the bats with the timer with the napalm on them.
Yeah.
Well, so I was kind of watching something in that same vein. During World War II, there's a guy in England. His last name was Garbo, and he wanted to be like a spy for the British to spy on the Germans, to find a way to do that. So he goes, just walks into the consulate in Britain, and he goes, he's like, hey, I want to be a spy. And they're like, dude, you have no experience.
You told us this one.
Yeah. I don't think I said on the air, though. I think this was. Did I ever say this on the air?
Yep.
The Garbo guy that taught him that did
and
the
then he
tryout?
just walks into the Germans.
I don't think we said it on the air. I think I told you guys when we were in wardrobe. I don't think we ever said it on the air. So, old dude walks into he's English, walks into the consulate in Britain. They're like, nah, man, like you have no experience, whatever. Dude says, all right, leaves, goes over to Germany, like goes over there, all right, walks into the German office, whatever, and says, hey, I'm from England. I want to spy on England for you guys. I like what y'all are doing, whatever. Now, to me, I would be very skeptical of that person that came in there thinking he's a double agent. But apparently, the Germans were like, sure, man, yeah, do it. So this dude convinced them that he worked in like some foreign office in England where he's from, so he can get all this information. Old dude went back to England. The Germans trusted him, was just sending them fake information the whole time. And they just took it hook, line, and sinker the whole time. And so the English intelligence center that gets set up makes a list, because they're intercepting communications, of all the German spies they think are in Britain. And they know most of them, because most of them are double agents except a couple of them. And one of them, who's like the top guy that's sending over information, the British are looking at it and they're like, this is wrong. Like all the information they're intercepting from him, they're like, this is not, this is wrong. I don't know why he's giving them bad information. So it gets to the point where this dude was sending so much fake information over there that the Germans sent 2 submarines to go try and track down this merchant ship that was going through some channel that England was using or whatever, and none of them ever showed up. So they end up finding out who the guy is, go and meeting him, and it's the guy that they said couldn't be a spy. Turned out was fed the Germans the most misinformation and was doing it by himself. It's like the Joker said, man, we're going to have tryouts. Oh boy, basically just had a in-game tryout to be a spy during World War II. That right there, fellas, that takes guts, that takes balls, and it's a sneaky, sneaky move.
The true underdog story.
It's a true underdog story. Average Joe's, 1972, USA versus the Russians in hockey, really true underdog stories. National Signing Day is upon us. Rusty Mansell from 247 is going to join us to break it all down. Carlos Correa stuns everyone by signing with the Mets rather than the Giants. We'll dive into why. And we share the craziest bowl game names of all time, because there's a million of them. I'm Jake Crane, and welcome to Crane & Company. College football is changing by the day, it seems, and while there are some changes that I'm not in favor of, I hope that one day we can see a change in how signing day works. In fact, I don't think there should be an isolated designated signing day. We should have signing day windows, like we treat everything else. We have dead period and open period windows to communicate with high school recruits. We also have the transfer portal window. So why do we confine high school players to only a day? If a kid wants to sign in October or September, they should be able to. If the head coach they signed up to play for is fired or leaves for another job, then they should be allowed to sign somewhere else. Even while I was in the business, I never really understood the isolated signing day, and that was when it was just back in February. But we should have a signing day deadline, which is somewhat in place already if you look in February at the late signing day now. Change that and move the transfer portal window until after the new year, and the college football porridge will be just right. I'm going to bring in my co-host, David Cohn, former Michigan quarterback, 6'7", towers over the normal-sized human being, and my brother, former Western State Colorado wide receiver. It's National Signing Day. How are you feeling?
I'm signed up.
You're signed up?
Signed up.
I'm signed in. I'm signed in right now.
Signed up. You signed up?
I'm signed up.
Are you signed? Are you signed up?
I signed up.
Good. Glad we got that out of the way. But guys, we should have signing windows, like a period where you can sign starting, I think, in September, going all the way through. We can even have it keep the same December, whatever, if you want to, even though there's no point. You ought to leave it in February as the deadline, your last day for high school recruits to sign. Talk about that and moving the transfer portal window are two changes that I would be for. And we've seen college football get overhauled. NIL, transfer portal. Slanting the rules to continue to benefit the offense. Just something we keep seeing.
That's through all of football.
Oh, yeah.
That's not just
all
the college
sports
level,
in general.
Okay?
But
keep it consistent.
But David, what do you think about a signing window?
I don't know. I hadn't thought of it until you said it. Obviously, when I was coming out, signing was the first, Tuesday in February, and that was just standard. And then I had started to hear a few teammates, like right when I got to Michigan, Carlos Brown and Justin Bourne were the first two to report early. Basically,
Jason's son, Justin?
Bourne.
Oh, I thought you said Bourne.
Yes,
sorry.
Bourne. But
family.
yeah, I think he's a cousin though still. To report to campus early in December and sort of skip that, that second semester of your senior year. So I guess, is that the move that got signing day moved to December? With so many kids not participating in the spring semester of high school?
Well, remember it used to be just like quarterbacks would enroll early or graduate early so they could go in the spring and try and get in the playbook and get used to the college life to give themselves a chance. But now you have a ton of kids that are graduating early. And I think with the level of training that's increased, obviously, as we continue to advance in health and science and technology and all the other Azers, that kids are able to play earlier now when it comes to college football. And look, I like getting out of the way. Maybe that's why I'm in favor of the window, so you can sign up earlier. I kind of like being able to get it out of the way. You can say, all right, well, as a player, how advantageous is that to you? It depends on your circumstance. It's just like right now. A lot of players have to sign in this early window because you've had the transfer portal, which is eating spots for high school kids. That's what's going to happen. And you're not stupid as a coach for taking somebody in the transfer portal. It's a proven commodity. It's like a free agent versus a draft pick. You're projecting in one, and you have a proven commodity in the other. And then the other thing is, I think it takes a lot of pressure off of some of these kids in their high school senior season. Instead of, all the hoopla that goes in with it. Well, he's committed here, but he can still sign here, and this will happen. And that's what makes recruiting and National Signing Day fun, and I get that. But from the standpoint of the college coach, from the standpoint of the high school player, I think they should have all options open on the table. What are you hurting by doing that?
So let's say if you had, if today, December 21st, were the signing deadline rather than signing day.
I think that's too early. Like, February should be the signing deadline. It should be the old signing day as the signing deadline. Because
so that's my question is, so you want the signing deadline to remain in February?
Yes.
And then right now is just a part of the window?
Right now it's part of the window. Okay. It's part of the window. And if you still want to have your if there wants to be a popular day where everybody signs, that's fine, but not by mandate. Like, I feel like you should have the ability to sign earlier than that. And like I said, if the head coach gets fired or he leaves to take another job, like Luke Fickell, for example, if you had committed and signed with Cincinnati with my rule in October, and then Luke Fickell takes a Wisconsin job, you should be able to get out of that. You should be able to get out of that scholarship and sign somewhere else. Just like if a head coach leaves your program now, you can get a waiver from the NCAA. It's just how it works. And now we see the transfer portal, the one-time free transfer rule to go anywhere at any point in time. Again, what is it taking away? What is it hurting? I think it could only help, and it's the only technical day that we have. Like I said, you have your open windows and closed windows with recruits. You have the transfer portal window, which we see, opens to undergrad on December 5th, and it's just like a vacuum and tornado of players, quarterbacks, and all type of roster-changing guys getting in there. I don't see the harm in it, and I feel like it could solve a lot of problems, actually, instead of creating them. Now, some guys, the reason I don't want to have the deadline in December is the same reason why some guys don't sign in December. You're still trying to get your grades. You're still trying to qualify. But if you can get accepted into a college early, you should have the ability to sign there. For a normal student, you get accepted into the university. They're not like, all right, September 9th is official send in your transcript day if you're a normal student. I just don't see what it hurts. I actually think it would help, Blaine.
You think so?
Yes.
What about position coach-wise? Because I'm in the boat. If your position coach leaves, if you sign and your position coach leaves, you should be able to leave.
Well,
because you're with your position coach more than anybody, probably less than the strength coach, maybe.
Yeah,
but it happened to me at Western Colorado where I signed. I signed with a certain guy who I liked. I thought he could help me a lot, take me to the potential I wanted to be a receiver. He left, signed with another guy who couldn't even remember my name.
So you have position coach, coordinator, and head coach, all that are involved in recruiting. So you're saying even if the position coach leaves, that should be treated like when the head coach leaves?
Well, yeah, because you're with him more than anybody.
Well, see, that's why that is true, but that's why I always tell kids sign, and I know it's easier said than done, sign for the school, not just for the position coach. If you're going to sign for a coach, sign for the head coach. But I could understand that. I mean, but you have so much movement with position coaches. I just worry about tampering. That's what I worry about. All right, I'm at school A. We're playing school B. They have 3 great freshman DBs. Oh, our DB coach just left to take another job. I'm going to hire this guy to get those 3 players over there. I know it happens in the aggregate in other places. I just feel like that's kind of a slippery slope. But, I don't think it's stupid, or I don't think it's something that shouldn't be done. But I tell you what should be done. You like to bet on sports? Gamble on sports?
I don't.
Put a little extra money in your pocket, maybe go under that mattress and throw a couple 20s under there. You need to download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Do it right now. It's unbelievably easy, and you get in on the holiday hoops action. College basketball is absolutely smoking right now. The NBA, we're getting closer to the playoffs, which means people are going to care more, including the players. But if you sign up with our code BOOSTER, that's BOOSTER, and place a $5 pregame moneyline bet on any NBA team to win, you get $150 in free bets if they do. That's only at DraftKings Sportsbook with code BOOSTER. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. We talk about this all the time. I do want to say this. Maryland sports fans, congratulations. DraftKings Sportsbook is now in the state.
Hey!
Congrats, guys.
Yeah.
You're in Maryland. Crab cakes,
Let's go.
football, and DraftKings. That's what Maryland does. Welcome to the party, to our audience in Maryland. Get on there right now. Maybe I just made your day. Maybe it's Christmas come early. You're welcome. That makes me the sports gambling Santa Claus. But when it comes down to same-game parlays, easy and fast payouts, getting the lines early, being able to have versatility in your bets, you can bet on basically anything. If they're throwing baseballs at cricket somewhere, you could probably bet on that over there in Indonesia. DraftKings Sportsbook, make sure you use our code for all your sports gambling needs. We love it.
College basketball parlay tonight.
Yeah, I do too. I've hit my last 2.
I love DraftKings so much. It's the best.
I know you do.
It's the best. My favorite sports book.
It's the best one. What do you think about the Booster Club?
It depends on this poll, to be honest.
Oh, wow.
Apparently, Ohio passed it, too.
Ohio passed it too. Ohio.
Come on now.
Ohio, home of Ohio State. Cone's second favorite team.
Cone said it. We all heard him say it.
We all heard him say it.
Yeah, so
People
he's not
don't
coming
forget.
back. Let's go to head people keeper Blaine first.
Nice.
He says, what's up, CNC? Says, made it to level 32 today.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
31 saw one son. 32 will see another. What a life.
Nice.
Happy level day.
Your goal is just to see
You're leveling up.
Your goal is to see another 365 sons.
All right, $5 donation from Trevor Sage.
Trevor, what's
Thank you,
up?
Trevor. Says, morning, y'all. Good morning to you, good sir. 2-parter right here. All right. A trip to the fantasy championship is on the line in 2 leagues.
Whoa.
All right. You come into my house, you get my wife's name right. It's Christina. All right. J.K. Dobbins or Ramondre Stevenson. Fields or Herbert.
Wow. Look, J.K. looks like he's kind of getting back a little bit, but every time he does that, he has some devastating injuries. So I just feel like Ramondre Stevenson is steady. The Patriots are going to be upset with the way it went down against the Raiders. I don't think they're going to be taking a lot of chances because Bill Belichick wants to remind everybody just how disciplined everybody is. So give me a lot of ground game. I think they score a couple touchdowns. I think Ramondre scores one. Look, J.K. Dobbins is my second favorite J.K. behind Rolling, so I want to make sure and show him some love. But I just don't trust him. I don't trust. He's not in the trust tree. He's not there yet.
Was it back-to-back games over 100 yards?
Back-to-back games over 100 yards. It looks like Lamar Jackson's coming back. I can understand everybody. You're playing. I believe it's the. Is it the not the Browns? You played them last week.
You talking about New England?
Yeah, I'm talking about the
playing
Ravens.
the Bengals. The Ravens play the Falcons.
Ravens are playing the Falcons, who have basically quit on the season. You have Desmond Ridder out there. You know what? Let's do this.
You go JK. You go JK.
You gotta go JK. You gotta go JK.
You go JK and I go Herbert.
Why not Fields?
They're playing the Bills. And he's
Where at? It's in Chicago. Well, it's supposed to be freezing.
It's like 11
too.
degrees.
Yeah, I would
run around
I
a
would
lot?
definitely go Justin Herbert.
And he hurt his shoulder. If you haven't heard his interview from yesterday, 300-pound man.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
saw that.
did y'all see that?
Some things in a
sus.
press conference, you got to make sure you word right.
Yeah,
Didn't
little.
come out
I mean,
right.
I'm gonna be honest, a little sus
Little
there.
sus. Little, if he was a
didn't
rapper,
hear
they'd call him Little Sus.
Little sus.
But I would go J.K. I think we're all in agreement here.
Yes.
All right, J.K. Dobbins and Justin Herbert. If you win, are those two do better than the other two we could have picked? Please let us know. We want to see our work in action. All right, we want to see us making a difference, changing lives. We're basically like your fantasy football life alert. That's what we are.
Okay, let's go to Jan B with a $5.01 donation. A little 1 cent on the end of that. That's pretty good. He says, with Golden Boy Arch Manning forced Quinn out of for the Longhorns, will he transfer?
Talking about will Quinn Ewers transfer with Arch Manning coming in? No, I don't think so. Look, I'm going to continue to say what I've said this whole time. All right, Arch Manning, it seems like the plan for Texas is Arch Manning will be their quarterback going into year 1 of their SEC tenure. Now, could we see Texas in the SEC next year? Who knows what the hell's going to happen when it comes down to it. There's a lot of moving parts. I think it'd be difficult to pull off. There's a lot more things going on than just Texas and Oklahoma. When you add teams to a conference, there's a lot of things on the periphery that has to happen. But I think Quinn Ewers will be the quarterback for this year. I think he'll have a really good year. I think he's going to clean that footwork up a little bit. He has some experience. He will go into the draft, and Arch Manning will be the starting quarterback at Texas as a redshirt freshman with a little bit of experience going into the SEC. Imagine that headline. Texas going into year 1 in the SEC with who? The Golden Arch Manning at quarterback. Again, it sounds like a Matt Christopher book because it probably is.
All right, Breaking Guthrie says, happy signing day, boys.
Happy signing day.
I hope you are doing well, and also wanted to tell you I saw David Michigan last night.
Nice.
It was
Really?
dark and rainy, but I know it was him.
Of
Yeah?
course.
What
Did he
was he
come
up
down
to?
like upside down with his mask on? Look, David Michigan, if you don't know, we believe is Cone. We think Cone, when he gets done, he says he goes home to his wife and children. And he may do that for a little bit, but when everybody goes to sleep, he protects the city of Nashville as the superhero David Michigan. We know it's you.
You think so?
Green Hawk.
No, it's not me. But I've seen him once too.
Oh,
At least
you
I thought I
have?
did. It was a bird. It
seen
was a
him?
plane. It was David Michigan.
Yeah, we call that a mirror where I'm from, David. Was there anything else on there? Or it's just you saw David Michigan.
Was there anything else? There's always something else in here, but do you want to go to something else?
Yes, let's go to something else. Then we'll
Okay.
go to rapid fire.
Okay, but stay in the Booster Club?
But stay in the
Let's go to Dank 135 then. It says morning.
morning.
It's such a great show, guys. Killer approach to sports and hashtag go blue.
Go blue.
Yeah, look at that. Your
Y'all are just
army's
everywhere.
growing.
Let's go.
You guys, Michigan and Alabama fans, you guys are everywhere.
Everywhere.
It's like, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but it's like, they're like, cockroaches could survive a nuclear war.
Oh, I'm glad
so
you
could
didn't mean that.
So could
At least you didn't mean it in a bad way.
Yeah.
well, okay.
Okay,
hold
nothing
on.
ever good
Ants.
comes
I don't
after
mean
that.
that in
Let
a
me do it
bad
better.
way.
Let me do
You're
it.
a
Let me do it.
cockroach.
Ants.
Basically, Men in Black.
Yeah, ants will
villain.
survive nuclear war. So will Michigan and
Come on,
Alabama
ants.
fans.
War's still going on.
It is.
Justin Reagan, $2.50 donation. Appreciate it,
Ronald's
Justin.
son.
Hashtag Ask Crane & Co. What is the impact of Devin Leary going to Kentucky?
The biggest impact of Devin Leary going to Kentucky is what I think will join around him. We say this all the time. You look at it in high school recruiting. Great players want to go play with who? Great players, especially quarterbacks that have proven themselves, that are big names, that have shown they can throw the ball consistently. We know what Devin Leary can do. Kind of off this past year, NC State didn't really live up to expectations. I know Devin was beat up, but if you're a receiver that is in the portal, or you are a skill player, or a good player in general, you want to follow good players. It's a smart move by Kentucky because we know Devin's talented, but do not be surprised if you see additions around him because receivers, Dorian Singer, led the Pac-12 in receiving this past year. What does he do right at the end of the year? Leaves Arizona to go where? USC. Why? Not just because he probably loves LA, but because Caleb Williams is there. And receivers know that quarterbacks have to give them the ball or none of it matters. It's like running a relay in track. If that guy can't give me the baton, then my leg doesn't even matter. So I think that's what you're going to see. Adding Cohen as the OC's back. I like the way Kentucky's going. The only thing I think is overrated about Kentucky right now is Will Levis, and that will prove itself out over the next couple of years.
Great pickup for Kentucky.
Great pickup.
I saw him a little bit more at a place like maybe Texas A&M or Florida or someplace like that, but great pickup for
They needed it. They needed a little bit of momentum the way the year kind of ended, especially losing to Vanderbilt. Very kind of Florida-ish the way the year ended over there for the Wildcats. All right, Blind.
Yeah, Will Levis might be on a certain person's list Friday. Let's go to Dakota Blackburn, hashtag Ask Crandon Company. Dakota, what's up, brother? So do you think the GM position Norvell has at FSU is the way of the future for college, given their success in the portal?
Yes. We've seen so many new jobs and titles added to college football staffs. I mean, you've seen in the NFL too. Just look at whatever the hell Matt Patricia is for the Patriots. He's like the morale officer, HR, that also calls plays or something like that. Yeah, look, people are going to have to build a whole wing of like transfer portal conglomerates or employees to be able to keep up with this. I had coaches from the SEC, ACC, one from the Big Ten, linebacker coach from the Big 12, text me and say, man, our recruiting department cannot keep up with high school kids and the transfer portal. Go back to December 5th. I mean, it was like drinking water through a fire hose. You are not only going to have GMs, you're going to have branches and wings of your staff, of your administration, to be able to not only help evaluate things, which at the end of the day, the coaches have the truest evaluation, but just to be able to order it, to know who's where, to have an idea of what players are at this position are officially in the portal. Because the way the portal works is there is a system, there is a database. And I've been in this database before. The coaches have the password per school. You have your number, ID number, whatever. You go in there and it shows you who officially is in the transfer portal. We know tampering goes on, but you go in there and you say, all right, he's officially in there. He's locked in, ready to go. I can now communicate with him legally. That's how it works. But there's so many names now that you're going to have your own GM, director of transfer portalness, transfer portal king, all type of stuff. Who knows?
All right, let's go to, I want to get this up. Smith Tenney, what's up, Smith? He says, a week and a half ago, I told you to cheer my little bro playing for the Arizona State title.
Yes.
We got the dub.
Yes.
28-14, and my brother got defensive player of the game, and my cousin got the offensive player of the game. Go Eagles, boys. Go Eagles. The family affair.
Speaking of signing day, where are all y'all going? Yeah. Give us our names. We'll give them a shout out.
Let's go to Matty Ice, 1994. He says, did you guys hear about Drake May possible NIL deal if he leaves?
$5 million is what I heard.
$5 million. I'm not surprised. And look, we all know who are from. It's. I don't like it. All right. I'm not a huge fan of it. But this is us, right? Right? Mandy Moore, ABC show. This is us.
This is us now because
this is us. Drama. There's a lot of similarities. A lot of drama, a lot of tampering, a lot of people, getting together behind the scenes. But I do want to give Drake May a lot of credit. I want to give Mac Brown and that staff a lot of credit because, guys, they lost their offensive coordinator too. Like, Drake May had every excuse. Oh, well, I was the team this year. We were so bad on defense. I had to carry us as a freshman. I want to go somewhere where I'm a part of a great team. Oh, my offensive coordinator, I'm used to that system and calling the plays, left to go with Luke Fickell to Wisconsin, which, by the way, Graham Mertz, former Wisconsin quarterback, went down to Florida. Ooh, gross. I know I said don't panic, Florida fans, but I trust Graham Mertz about as much as I trust, Kelsey Graham to be able to throw the ball down the field when it comes down to it. So, kudos to Drake May. Excited for North Carolina. Mac Brown, old as hell, but still doing it. He's like that old, cool, hip guy, like the guy from Hall Pass, that takes him out, that's able to get all the girls and takes them back. It's kind of like Mac Brown, in college football right now. He's old, but he's still hip. He's down with it. He can get it going. But Cone, let's get a little rapid fire going.
All pass shot in Atlanta, by the way.
Really? Yeah. That's the only thing that's been shot in Atlanta.
All right, first one. Carlos Correa signs with the Mets, not the Giants.
Yeah.
Stuns everyone. It's going to be 12 years, $315 million, something to do with his physical.
So from what the report seems to be, is that the Giants postponed the press conference of the signing and him actually being able to sign because they flagged something in the physical. But the doctors disagreed with the Giants. So I'm over here just trying to figure out like what's going on. Because there's multiple things in my mind that could happen. Because the Mets just scooped them right up. And it's a nice pickup for the Mets. But I'll go ahead and say this. They better get some guys in the bullpen or it's not going to matter. All right, they're throwing out money like candy right now. I know DeGrom went to the Rangers and that cleared some space. But the Mets better find some guys in the bullpen or it's not going to matter at the end of the day how well you hit. That's just how baseball works. But my mind thinks, okay, a couple things. One, the Giants legitimately think there's something wrong with him physically. And they do not want to lock into a long-term deal with that type of money because he may be beat up and not be able to not, play through the contract, but play effectively through the contract. Or the second thing, and this is a little more nefarious, maybe somebody in the Giants said, man, I feel like our evaluation's wrong. I feel like we're making a mistake. We don't think Carlos Correa is the player that we need to spend this type of, I don't know why they would say that. Again, baseball, analytically, it's one of the most analytical things when it comes down to it. Jonah Hill's sitting in a room somewhere telling a bunch of old white guys that played back in the 60s, how it should go from the numbers. It's fishy here. Something spooked Correa. Because it's one thing if you're like, all right, we have a couple questions about this. We want you to come back in, take another physical, see you, lift some paper plates above your head, or I don't know what else they do. But Correa was obviously worried enough where he just jumped on the second. I'm guessing the Mets finished second in his mind, and he jumped on that offer. So there's a lot of moving parts right now. I don't want to put the cart before the horse when it comes to the story, but very interesting and season-changing, possibly. If you look at what the Giants were trying to do, they went after Aaron Judge, didn't get him. You go after Carlos Correa. Now so you flag something. He doesn't come. So it's going to be interesting to watch how the Giants move forward when you look at the Dodgers, who just signed J.D. Martinez, and they're, reloading with the Golden Boys again, only to go lose before the World Series.
As a Yankees fan, how do you feel about this signing for the Mets?
No, I mean, not worried. Never worried about Carlos Correa, to be honest. One, he's a cheater. Two, I mean, the Mets, for what?
I mean, so everybody in the Astros is a cheater.
On that team, yes.
So what about the guys that were on that team that won the World Series this year?
Still cheaters. That doesn't mean they didn't cheat.
But you want
that doesn't mean they didn't win it fairly this year, but they cheated.
But you want to allow steroids in baseball.
Yes.
Which is cheating.
Depends on how you look at it.
Unbelievable.
Not if it's allowed.
Yeah. How's it cheating if it's allowed?
This feels a lot
if a tree falls in the woods, does anybody?
This feels a lot like the Drew Brees situation when Nick Saban wanted Drew Brees to come from the Chargers over to the Miami Dolphins, and the medical staff wouldn't clear him with the shoulder issue. All of a sudden, he goes to the Saints and sets NFL passing record.
Well, you can bet your bottom dollars the Mets hope it works out. Like
I heard he had
like that.
Drew Brees.
I heard he had ringworm. All right, he had to go to.
He had to go get that medicine.
He had to go to Belgium
Tatis
to go find something to get it fixed. So.
Yeah, he had to go to Colombia to find this medicine.
That's how it works.
You go to Colombia to find one thing, and some people consider it medicine. Some people consider it a drug.
All right, we talked about Devin Leary to Kentucky. Next one, Brett Bielema, 6-year extension.
Good.
Illinois.
Good.
Lost Ryan Walters, lock up Bielema. I'm telling you, talk about a perfect fit. Just look at this guy right here.
Yeah.
Doesn't he just look like the Big Ten? He just
Big Ten, baby.
White. Look at that guy right there.
Yes, sir. You see that guy, and you know you're going to do a hell of a lot of running the football.
You know you're going to do a hell of a lot of running the ball, and you're going to eat good.
You ate good today.
You're going to eat good.
Look how scared that ref is.
Look at I know.
I'd be terrified.
Like getting ran at by a hippo. By the way, have you seen hippos in the water? I don't mean to digress. Oh my gosh. I watched a hippo chasing a boat the other day. Man, hell no. Reed wants to go on this African safari, and I'm trying to talk myself into it, eventually, which I'm not a fan of. But after watching that hippo, we may do a virtual tour.
You know, there's a bunch of cockroaches there.
Here we go.
Yeah, he's not going to let that go.
Well, listen. Go ahead.
I was just going to, did you guys see Stephon Diggs give a pair of shoes
yes, let's show this.
to that kid?
Yeah, let's go ahead and run this. You can see Stephon.
So I heard I got a present for you for Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Wow. Oh, look at the kid.
Man,
A little bit.
Those are dope.
Buffalo Bills Knights, man.
Yeah. I saw Josh Allen.
Yeah.
We talk about here, and
Wish me luck.
I'm going to let it play through.
I think that kid maybe lost his father.
Yeah, his dad just passed away, I believe. Look, we say this, there's a lot of stuff in sports we want to fix. There's a lot of bad parts of sports, just like there is in any business. But this, to me, is what makes sports maybe the last saving grace of being able to bring all of us together. We're so vitriolic in politics, which bleeds into basically everything else, including sports in some junctures. But this is what sports does. This is how sports can transform people who are in certain situations, not only getting a scholarship to go play and changing the socioeconomic trajectory of your family for generations to come, but it's little things like this that sports gives us. And it's stuff like this that we cannot let go of, regardless of how pissed off we get at each other, regardless of how upset we are about who voted for this guy and who did this and who did that. we have to remember to not to let it bleed into sports to where it takes over. There's sometimes where sports and politics touch. The Leah Thomas situation. So I get that. NIL, I totally understand that. We try and keep it out as much as possible. We opine when we feel like it's necessary. But this is what sports brings not only to kids, but to people across the globe. Across the globe. So I just want to make sure that we don't forget that. And also, Cone, what I want to make sure else we don't forget, a lot of us drink coffee in the morning. I'm going to be honest, to me, I feel like I've built up such an immunity. Maybe I'm just doing it because it's the routine. Maybe I'm just doing it because I'm used to the flavors. But if you're going to pick one coffee company, you need to go to our friends at blackriflecoffee.com. You need to use our promo code BOOSTER, and you get 10% off coffee gear, apparel, or when you sign up for the club that's taking over the country. That's the new coffee club subscription from Black Rifle. That's blackriflecoffee.com, promo code BOOSTER for 10% off. Black Rifle Coffee, supporting veterans and America's coffee. It's National Signing Day. We got Rusty Mansell coming on to break it all down. I'm committing right now to Black Rifle Coffee every morning. It's a 5-star situation.
5-star situation. Actually, it has 5 stars on the back of here.
I didn't lie. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. Gunship, Power Llama, Lava Panther, Murdered Out. You looking for yours?
Where'd my coffee go?
Guess what I got? The Headless Horseman.
Where did my...
You thought you've had pumpkin spice before?
That's fine.
You have no clue.
It's fine.
It's like people who say about, when people ask, what's it like having a kid? It's like, oh, you think you love your animals? Like, you think you love your dogs or your cat? You don't know what love is. You don't know what good coffee is. But I do. It's blackriflecoffee.com. Use promo code BOOSTER. How about that ad? All right, what else you got, Cone?
What else do I have? Oh, the Dutch Giant.
Yes.
The Dutch Giant dress up. Well, who is he dressing up as?
Kratos. God of War.
All right, tell us about this.
Top 5 video games probably ever made with this series. Kratos goes and just kills all the gods. He was a god that was forsaken, got his powers taken away, sent to Earth, and he just goes and just kills all the gods.
Wait, so how is a guy with no powers going to kill all the gods?
Well, the power of the gods. So he earns his power back through the story, the campaign. That's how you get it back.
All right, let's play this because I don't want Kratos. You said that's his name?
Yeah.
Just walking around. Let's play this clip. This dude's a monster. He actually looks like him. But can you imagine, hey, guess what? I'm going to Walmart. Need to get some stuff for Christmas, maybe some wrapping paper. And all of a sudden, this monster you know what I would legitimately think it is? I'd be like, all right, it's an Avengers situation. All right, they're real. It's the first time they come out. We know they're real. My only question after this is, when does David Michigan show up?
This guy's 7'2".
Yeah, could David Michigan beat Kratos?
Yes, but I believe, are they allies? They're allies.
They're allies?
They're allies, I just checked.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's not
David
good.
Michigan knows who to be friends with and who not to be
because
friends
Blake Jane is not one of your allies.
No. Blake Jane is a bad guy. The replacement cone.
We need to come up with an origin story of Blake Jane versus David Michigan with replacement cone.
Well, look.
What would Blake
Christmas
Jane
breaks
look
around
like?
the corner.
Blake Jane?
It's a mixture of us. What would it look like?
Well, it'd be extremely good.
Is it trans?
No. What about Siamese twins, 2 heads? One Blaine, one Jake.
Did you say that because the name is Blake Jane?
Yeah. David Michigan
a mixture of us is
Blake
not
Jane's
going to be trans, Blaine.
The trans supervillain?
Is there something you want to tell everybody?
What?
It's not coming from my side. I'm getting married to a girl. What else we got in rapid fire?
What else do I have? Oh, I have all sorts of reactions, boy. Did you see Salt Bay? Do you know Salt Bay?
I don't know. You talked about this.
Salt Bay is?
Salt Bay?
You don't know Salt Bay? The guy with the salt on his forearm, and then he parlayed that into a culinary empire or something?
By putting salt on his elbow?
You never saw the videos of
Salt Bay?
Hey, Salt Bay.
And he slaps.
This is why the aliens want to talk.
Anyway, watch him with the World Cup trophy with the Argentina team.
All right, let's go ahead and play it with Salt Bay. It's brother of Old Bay. He's sitting with the trophy.
Just carried salt around with him.
Well, I'm so confused.
You've never seen Salt Bay,
No.
so he
He's
gets the
just
salt
taking
and
the
slaps
trophy. He's
them.
just taking the trophy.
You let
from
this guy on the field.
Wait,
Look at him just taking it again.
If you're on the audio right now, he's just taking pictures and doing this salt thing with the trophy. I'm so confused. How have I not heard about this?
Oh, here he is with Messi.
Did Messi punk him?
For the next 3 years, there's a World Cup in the state right there.
Messi's like, I have no idea who you
Messi.
are.
Messi doesn't know who he is. I don't. We're both goats, so there it is.
All right. Next, the 49ers rookie bill.
Yes,
See this
explain
one?
this to people.
The 49ers rookie, but through initiation, NFL team, sometimes the old heads will take you out. And as the rookie, you have to pay the bill. This one came back a little bit larger than usual.
Okay, let's play the clip here. What rookie is this?
It's the whole group.
It's the whole group. All right, let's go ahead and play it.
Excuse me.
At a nice restaurant. You can tell, obviously, they're in the NFL because they're giants.
Why you got the flags like
No.
322,000.
No.
Not paying it.
No, I'm not paying it. 322,000?
Y'all paying?
Y'all boys good?
Nah, I'm not paying it.
I'm not paying it either.
I'm not paying.
And they contemplate.
Like, look, we can split it amongst everybody that's there. But turned out, was it?
Eric Armstead said, "Y'all are crazy if you think it was a 300,000."
Yeah, I was about to say,
Just
what
a
would you have
joke.
to
It
get?
was like 7,500 or something. That's what he says.
Still.
It's like, I'll take the steak, I'll take a bottle of wine.
Yeah, I'll take a
and also
steak
a
in the
Ferrari.
restaurant.
Yeah.
I'd like
Yeah.
a stock steak in the
Yeah, I'll take
restaurant.
15%.
I'll take the Ferrari with that.
Yeah. And last one I have here is the Eagles. The Eagles singing Christmas carols.
This is
haven't seen
very impressive.
Yeah.
Look, the Eagles right
Oh,
now,
yeah,
it's just a bunch of winning. Let's go. I'm not going to say anything. These are actual Eagles players singing. Let's play the clip.
May your days be merry and bright, and may all
Jason Kelsey?
Christmases be white.
I mean, it's
Yeah, that sounded terrible.
no,
What?
it's
What are you talking
it's
about?
That
actually
sounded
pretty
terrible.
good.
That sounded-
There's more as well. One guy
Not-
goes in there and absolutely kills
Yeah, in the falsetto.
the false.
Best center in the NFL for sure, but I mean, Jason, keep it a stizzy with you, man. That didn't sound good.
How would you?
No, don't
sing
listen
it?
to him.
I
James.
wouldn't sing it.
Don't listen to him.
Because I
Bring us
can't
on the
sing.
pod, okay?
I'm not
Don't
a
listen
good
to him.
singer.
Right now, here we go.
No,
Right
not
now.
happening.
Come on.
Not happening.
Sing us a little tune.
I didn't even know what song he was singing. What Christmas
White
song was he singing?
Christmas.
So you couldn't even sing.
White Christmas.
Sing Jingle Bells real quick.
No.
Dun 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 dun.
No.
Come on, Blaine, get into
No.
it.
Look, I need at least 4 whiskey and cokes before I get into Jingle Bells.
Well,
Maybe a Don Julio shot.
Maybe
too.
a little spiked eggnog. Your fave?
Your fave.
It's disgusting.
Your fave.
I don't know what's more disgusting than that or Jason Kelsey singing that song.
Well, the fact that you hate eggnog really makes me rethink a lot of things I thought about you
Really? Eggnog?
in our relationship over the last
Okay.
29
Well, you know, if you're still willing to be friends with a guy who likes candy corn, then, I mean, what's your limit?
I can see
What's not
past
a-
things.
Okay.
Yeah,
Can you
exactly.
see? It didn't sound like you see past the eggnog.
I can. It's pretty thick.
Wow.
But speaking about seeing past things, you need to see things through as well. And you need to take 5 minutes today. Go to epicwill.com. Use promo code Booster. Guys, here's a hint. Use promo code Booster pretty much everywhere with these ads outside of a couple. All right. And you're going to save 10% on Epic Will's complete will package. That's epicwill.com, promo code Booster. Cone, you're about to have child number 2. You got your will taken care of through Epic Will. Did Aaron, your bro, get it?
Not yet. Not yet. We're working on that.
We're working on it right now.
We're working on that.
Tell him I said get it done.
Yes, and he's coming back up through the Christmas break.
Ooh, could you cook some chicken wings again?
Those chicken wings were good.
Dude, your brother
He got down on those.
absolutely just Bobby
Aaron.
flayed that whole situation.
Yep. And not only him, but there's several people in the family. I'm like, look, it's too important not to do. It's too important not to. It takes 5 minutes, Blaine.
Blaine, are you going to do it or what?
It's already done. What do you mean?
Oh, it is?
You think a guy who looks like this with that car and the amount of money I have can't do a will? You think I'm going to give it to Joe Biden?
How much money do you have on you right now?
Huh?
I'm guessing.
A stick?
Enough to make you disappear, David.
Do you carry cash on you?
Huh?
People don't carry cash.
I don't
I always carry cash.
I don't
on me.
carry cash.
You
Just in case. You never know.
You
By
never
the way,
know.
You never
But
know.
by
don't
the way, we all know who's winning horse.
Yeah,
We
me.
played it.
Yeah, I'm dunking.
Blaine, you
every
know
time.
I'm a better shooter than you are.
You're
like,
not.
yeah.
What fantasy world do you live in?
Blaine, okay.
This is what'll happen.
Okay, Blaine.
I'll beat you both in horse, and then I'll beat you both in one-on-one.
No, that's fine. We're going to play in film.
Let's do it.
I know you're saying this. I know you're saying this for like persona things.
Oh,
but
here we
you
go.
know as well as I
Oh, here we
do,
go.
when it comes to shooting a basketball, I am way better than you.
Not
at
even
it.
close.
Not even close.
Not even close.
I'm going to murder you in
And
horse.
nothing.
Oh, you know what? I was
sports-wise
going to
will
be
murder me.
nice. I was going to be nice and shoot normal shots. Now I'm going to bury you in front of
Yeah,
everybody.
we'll see.
Now I'm going to
Yeah,
we'll see.
we'll see.
We'll play a game of who's really ambidextrous. That's what we'll play a game of.
Not you.
Yeah, not you. I've seen you shoot left-handed, and it looks.
What do you mean?
Yeah,
I'm
you might as well have no
legitimately
arms.
ambidextrous.
Yeah.
I don't even want to be it.
Well, you
it's
got to say
kind
the
of
word right. It's
trash.
ambidextrous.
You ever been into a bowling alley and don't know which hand you want to throw with? It's kind of a pain in the ass.
Yeah, they call that schizophrenic.
No, it's called being super athletic.
I can't wait to see which one of y'all comes in second.
Well, there's no dunking, David.
Yes, there is dunk.
Oh, now there are rules.
Yeah. See,
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah,
That's
yes,
fine.
there is
Hey,
dunk.
That's
Hey,
fine. Okay.
Hey,
That's fine. We've got our ways.
This is not Nam.
We've got our ways.
This is not Nam.
Okay. We can.
4 other things real quick here. Augusta National has announced its decision to allow eligible Live Golf members to play in the Masters.
Had to. You got to put the best players on there. Get the best ratings. It's all about money.
Also, the Phoenix Suns officially sold. Matt Ishiba closes deal with Robert Sarver to become the majority owner of the Phoenix Suns and the Mercury Blaine.
Yeah, Suns are dead to me after last night.
Billy.
$4 billion.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, oh, Robert Sarver, who from all accounts isn't a great person. Well, he's $4 billion richer. I would love to sell anything for $4 billion.
Bunch of betas.
What y'all want? What y'all want for $4 billion? Y'all want me? I'll sell myself for $4 billion. Then I get the $4 billion and buy myself out of it.
Don't do that. There's all sorts of stories about, lost character and integrity, selling your soul. You don't want to do that.
Well, look, I mean,
it's a real Faustian situation.
It's like that email I got from that prince from Nigeria. He needed help, so I helped him. Haven't heard back yet, but I'm still holding out hope.
I can't speak to that, but I do know that this new owner played basketball at Michigan State for Tom Izzo and won a championship there in 2000.
Trust him.
That much I know. Last 2 things. Franco Harris.
Yeah.
Franco Harris died at 72.
Immaculate reception. Found out this morning.
Super Bowl champ.
Icon in football that plays iconic. Just a bad situation.
And if you fly into Pittsburgh, they still have a statue right there at the airport of Franco
Incredible
Harris.
play.
And then last one, Army defensive end Andre Carter. We were talking about this earlier. Unsure if he can go to the NFL because of the Army's requirement to serve after you graduate. And he said that he was upset about not knowing. But he signed up for.
How do you not know?
Yeah.
What do you mean you don't know?
Well, I mean, not knowing. He's upset about, he's unsure if he can go into the draft or not because of some legislation that needs to be passed. But to your point, like, you knew that the requirement was to serve.
Well, we sit here and we talk about it, and even I let off, a show one day about how, going to play football at Navy or Army or these service academies, football is second there.
Mm-hmm.
We say football, at places like Auburn and A&M and, Texas and these places, it's second. They're student athletes. It's first. We all know it's first. Let's be honest. But when you decide to sign up for the military, one of the parts of that is it's not to go there just to train you and then you leave and go play in the NFL. That's not what that's about. David Robinson was a 7-footer that went to the Navy, served 2 years, and was a Hall of Famer. Now, I know that they're going to pass this legislation to let him go and play in the NFL. And I get that not a lot of players from Navy, Army, or Air Force go and play in the NFL. But when you sign up for something, you sign that serious. This isn't getting in the transfer portal because you weren't getting playing time. You signed up to be in the Navy or the Army or the Air Force. You made a commitment. You live out that commitment. That's why we sit here and say, again, we applaud these players for being able to go through that training and practice. Football practice is probably the easiest part of their day. But you need to live out your commitments. That's something that we have a problem with youth today. I sound like you and I get off my lawn. But do what you say you're going to do. You know what I'm saying? If I say I'm going to do something, if I sign up to do something, then I'm going to do it. Especially in the Navy or the Army. This isn't a walk in the park or just you choosing what you can and can't do. You signed that paper. They trained you. They gave you a scholarship. They pumped resources and money into you. That's what they do. Now go do your duty and then go play in the NFL. I mean, again, you're not going to be over there just taking hits from, offensive linemen for 4 quarters doing what you're doing in the Army. It's not like you're going over there and getting beat up by a bunch of offensive linemen. So I get you want to go to the NFL. I understand that. But you made a commitment. Live out your commitment.
Agreed.
My opinion. We got Rusty Mansell coming on to talk a ton of National Signing Day here in a moment. But before that, Blanye, Booster Club.
2 more weeks with the $2 donation. Says Graham Mertz, will Graham Mertz do good at Florida, or will he be the same type of letdown?
Well, if it involves throwing the ball to other human beings with the same jersey on as you, then I don't think Graham Mertz, not that Graham Mertz doesn't have a strong enough arm, not that Graham Mertz isn't talented. It seems to me that Graham Mertz doesn't have a ton of feel as a passer in the intermediate game and down the field. Screen game, he's fine. You should be fine, whether that's tailback screen, whether that's now screen, bubble screen, all that stuff on the outside. Graham Mertz struggles to make the throws you have to make. And you're coming to the SEC. Let me give you a hint about the SEC. The defenses don't get smaller and slower. Now, I know you're in the Big Ten, and you played against some aliens. I see it every week. But there's more. You had a few aliens land on your planet. Now you're going to a planet where there's nothing but aliens. So kind of like Bo Nix got a little better going to the Pac-12 defenses, a little bit smaller, a little bit slower. I don't see Graham Mertz making that jump. The same way that I didn't think Spencer Rattler was going to come and win the Heisman in year one like a lot of people thought. Now, he looked better at the end once he got used to the speed a little bit more, was a little bit more comfortable in the system. But I do not think Graham Mertz is the answer for Billy Napier at Florida. And I hope they are not banking on him, at least for their sake, to come in and be the savior. Because it's going to turn into from Graham Mertz to Graham, damn it hurts, if I'm a Florida fan. But I tell you what doesn't hurt when we bring on our buddy from 247 Sports, Dog Post, everywhere, Rusty Mansell. Rusty, it's Christmas before Christmas for college football fans. It's National Signing Day.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think about this is my 13th one. I've been through some damn doozies now. I've been I remember covering Robert Kimdichie and trying to figure out where that dude was going to go.
Yeah.
So,
like the Quanjo brothers, like the one that committed to Auburn and then was like, God. Wait, no, I'm sorry. I blacked out. I'm in Alabama. Just crazy.
Hey, I covered Reuben Foster from the 9th grade on. So, yeah, I've been through it. I can tell you that.
Yeah, I played against him in the 8th grade. It still haunts my nightmares.
Yeah, I know a certain center at Auburn that was about to beat him to sleep in Skybar for trying to get other kids to commit to Alabama on a visit.
No, you know how he got found? That on his freshman year, he absolutely laid Isaiah Crowell out.
Really?
I'm telling you right now, that was the first kid I've ever seen that had 20 real offers as a freshman. Like Reuben KO'd Isaiah Crowell.
I'll never forget, Rusty, when I was at South Alabama, went to Carver. This is when I just had gotten in, and went there with one of the position coaches, and Del McGee, the head coach at Carver. Go up to Dell, and we're looking around. We got our player sheet, and Carver's loaded with players. I mean, Jarvis Jones. I mean, you're looking around. There's a ton of D1 guys. And we look, and there's this running back. And you know what they look like when they look like what they're supposed to. And we're like, who is that kid? And Del McGee looks at us, and he goes, Coach, he's a sophomore. You ain't got to worry about him. He's not going to South Alabama. It turned out it was Isaiah Crowell. But
he sent y'all down another aisle. He's like, you guys are on that aisle.
Yeah, he's like, you need to keep going. He's like, you may get him in a bounce back, something like that if it were to happen. But Rusty, I led the show with, I think we should have a signing day window and then a signing day deadline in February. I don't see the harm in letting a kid sign in September if he wants to. Then if the head coach leaves, takes another job, or gets fired, that scholarship is back open. You still have the February deadline. I get the hoopla around it. I get it's good for business. But I don't see what it would hurt. Am I crazy thinking that?
Here's what I would go. I've always suggested August 1st because here's two things it does. It makes a college quit the BS. Do you have a real offer or do you not have a real offer? And the kids that want to commit, it's like, look, I'm going to Auburn. I'm going to Georgia regardless. Those kids would sign. 70% of the kids wouldn't sign yet. And that's okay. Let's go ahead and knock those 7 or 8 that are going to those schools. And exactly what you just said, give them an out. If that head coach is leaving, you can have an out, because I'm guarantee you it will pressure kids to quit a lot of their, shenanigans. Give me a top 12, all that stuff. I'm going to get in this school August the 1st, or I may not get in. So I like that. And do you have a real offer or not? You will find out come August 1st.
It helps. Go ahead.
Then you can enjoy your senior season. You can play football. You can enjoy your high school senior season knowing, look, I'm done. I'm wrapped. We'll play my ass off in my high school.
Exactly. And I think a lot more kids would sign than what even you think, not only just legacies or people like that, because of the transfer portal. I mean, spots are filling up. Yep. I know they changed the rule where you can now sign more than 25 in the class, but you can't have more than 85 on the roster. And as long as that 85 number doesn't move, high school kids' spots are going to be taken. It's almost like the early bird gets the worm and the late bird.
I talked to a G5 coach this week, and he said, I've taught this guy 4 or 5 years in a row. Everybody here would know him. I mean, he's a good coach. And he said, look, Rusty, we're not recruiting high school right now. I need 7 guys that can freaking go right now. And he was calling and asked me about a kid that was, played high school in Georgia, what I thought about him character-wise, not play-wise, character-wise. And to me, it's just a sign of the times, man. They don't.
It is.
It's just pushing off these high school kids. We're not changing it, but I love the idea. I love that you said that. I think August 1st would be great. And then come back with a February window.
I'm with you. We'll just start a petition around. We'll see it. Rusty's got enough. Rusty's got enough pull to get it done. You know Charlie Baker at all, NCAA? No, I'm just kidding. But Rusty, obviously it's signing day. You know, we do have the mix, obviously the transfer portal and the high school kids that are signing today. Georgia, we know you cover Georgia, but you cover all of it. Georgia right now, number 2 on 247 behind Alabama. When all is said and done, do you feel there's going to be some surprises today for Georgia? Typically, they're nothing but good surprises with the way Kirby Smart recruits. And do you think Georgia will end up, at the end of the day, with the number 1 recruiting class?
I've been doing this long enough to know that I shouldn't say this, but I don't think there's going to be any kind of chaos for Georgia today, which means they'll have 12 decommitments or something.
Yeah.
But I think Georgia, you know, I think today they're watching Daniel Harris is about to make his decision as a 4-star corner out of South Florida. I think I think he commits to Georgia. He was committed at one time, backed off. I think they get him back in the boat. The big one today really is Damon Wilson, the 5-star edge. And you take away Keon Keeley, who I think is number 1 in the country at that position. I think Damon Wilson's number 2. This was a head-to-head Georgia-Ohio State for 2 months. I'm talking haymakers from both of these schools on this kid. And I think Georgia is going to get him, and they really, really need some edge help. So that would be a big one. So tomorrow is Jordan Hall. And I think I always get the question. I like to go back and look. You know, who do I think will be the highest drafted kid out of this class when we go back? Obviously, I'll be tweeting the ones I've gotten right over the years. I will not be tweeting the ones I've gotten wrong. Jalen Carter was the one I hit really quickly because I just knew he was different. But I think Jordan Hall, if Georgia gets him tomorrow, I think he has potential to be a very high NFL pick. I mean, you look what Georgia's done defensive line-wise. I've been around this kid. I mean, this kid loves freaking football. I saw him at a camp in July down in Naples, Florida. And like this kid had 50 offers. I'm like, what are you doing working out, you know, for 3 days? Coach, I want to compete. I want to play. And when you get a mentality like that on a dude that big, ability to come through his hips and he can unhinge, you know what that means, man. He can control a gap and those things. So I think Jordan Hall can be really, really special if Georgia were to land him. Right now, I think they are.
Yeah, and look, you have to have those kids to be able to win at the end of the day. Everybody's talented when you get down to this playoff. What's the difference? It's on the mental side. What did Yogi Berra say? 90% of sports is 100% mental. He may have said baseball, but sports in general.
I was never good at math.
Yeah, I was never.
Sounds right.
Rusty, when you look at the top 10 right now on 247, you do have some of the same names you typically see in the top 10, but new head coaches. You look at what Mario Cristobal's doing at Miami, shoring up those tackle spots, getting those linemen in there. You look at Brian Kelly and LSU being able to get in there. And you kind of look on the periphery as well. Hugh Freeze taking the Auburn job. But with some of these new coaches getting in, Billy Napier has Ford at number 11. Who's really standing out to you on a coach that took over a job last year going into his first signing day with his new team?
I think Brian Kelly's the guy that you watch. He has a full cycle under him now. I think people that don't follow this day to day, and because they don't have the numbers of Georgia, Ohio, you know, Texas and California, I think Louisiana, man, they produce freaking dudes.
Yeah.
And when you go back and look at Louisiana Lafayette when Billy was there, you know, they were recruiting in state and had, you know, there's so many good players that just don't have the numbers population wise as others. So I'm very interested in how they finish. I think Hugh Freeze, in the short amount of time he's been at Auburn, I don't care if you have watched Auburn the last 3 years, they've got their ass whipped up front offensive
exactly.
line. I mean, they've got whipped. And, you know, what they're doing now, I think they're adding some really good key additions to the JUCO. Listen, I know Connor Lewis, a kid I've covered. He's about 45 minutes from my house and not going to make a ton of pub today, but I know his mentality. The kid just turned 17 years old. You know, he's going to go in and play center at Auburn, to flip from Miami. I think Auburn, you know, everybody looks on the perimeter with Hugh Freeze. You got to start up front, man.
Yep.
You got to start up front. And I think Auburn's really put a pretty good dent in the short time that Hugh Freeze has been there now. What's he known for? Scoring and throwing all over around the place, but you still got to be able to block dudes and move them in the red zone. And I think Auburn is a team I'm really, really interested in as we finish up this cycle. And not only this one, when that transfer portal opens again, January the 4th, 8th, what can Auburn do once they get a chance to breathe for a couple of weeks, reset? How can they finish this class?
Definitely. It's going to be interesting to follow.
Yeah. Hey, Rusty, looking around the rest of the country, give us some names of some high school guys here who are maybe a little bit underrated on the ranking boards, but who you think can really go in and be stud ball players around the country.
Well, I don't know that I say he's underrated, but he doesn't get the pub. I think a kid named Cade McDonald at North Gwinnett High School in the Atlanta area. He's going to Ohio State, and he kind of, he kind of slid under the radar for whatever reason. And I was on the show here previously for you guys, and I made the connection there. I watched Grady Jarrett work out in front of Rodney Garner one time, and Grady Jarrett's about 6'1.5", but he had all these stats. He had tackles for losses, all these things. I looked, and Rodney Garner looked at me and said, "This dude's going to be a hell of a player." Now, he wasn't going to sign him, but he's one of the best NFL tackles in the game.
Yeah.
I look at Caden McDonald, and he's a little bit short. He's a little heavy right now. He's probably 6'2". He's going to Ohio State out of this Georgia metro area. They're going to get him in shape, knock 25 off of him. And he's got the same kind of tackles for loss. I think he's going to be great. A kid out of another kid named out of Newton County, Justin Benton. Dad played at Georgia. Dad played for the Rams for a little while. He's, again, a little undersized, 6'2" defensive tackle. I know Texas is flirting with him some. Houston now, Arkansas. You see these kids that pop up late, especially for me from the state of Georgia. I just think they're going to be – I think that there's a lot to those guys. And the mentality of that dog. Everybody says that dog, but this kid wants – you watch his tape. I want to talk to Buford. I'll give you an example. I want to talk to Buford High School. I said, who was the best player y'all played this year? You know what they said? Justin Benton. We couldn't block that dude. And, that tells me a lot. So there's those underrated 3-star guys. I'll tell you one for sure, too, for Georgia. Yasid Haynes, wide receiver out of Philadelphia. He got there Saturday. The word I got yesterday, those first two workouts and the first practice session he had, probably some pretty good news for the future at Georgia wide receiver with him. Early on, you can't jump conclusions, but that's how it happens, man. And
for sure.
It's not a science,
Why don't you send me that first kid's number? I'm going to give him a call and see if maybe being a Michigan man sounds a little better to him, Rusty.
Yeah, y'all got y'all.
You know what? Michigan was involved. Michigan was involved with him. And kudos to Michigan and Ohio State because they got in down here. Florida was another school that got in on him late. And I think some schools knocked him. Look, Rusty Mansell would enjoy those summer buffets too on those OVs. I can promise you that. But sure. I think Caden put on about 25. Just too much. But his junior tape, and I know this kid. I know his mentality. I know his family. He's going to go up there, and people in SEC will go, "How in the hell did that happen?" Well, that's how it happens. And you get a little nitpicky with guys, and next thing you know, this guy's in the league, and he come out of the Atlanta area.
Well, it's always funny to me when people are like, yeah, he's a 6'2" defensive tackle. I'm like, man, I'm going to be honest with you. I would much rather block a 6'4" guy if I'm a guard or a center than a 6'1" or 6'2" bulldog because it's about leverage.
Yes.
A defensive end, I get it. All right, you want a guy that can knock down some passes? I get it. But when it comes to not only just base blocking a guy, but being able to pull and kick a guy, it's a lot easier to kick a big, tall, lanky guy out than it is some guy that looked like he just came out of the mountains in a Lord of the Rings movie
rolled out of the
dwarfs
gym
with a big hammer, and a suit of armor on.
It's such a different game, too. Now, can you win one-on-ones inside? You know what I mean? Like, can you be a pass rusher and a gap controller? And you look at those guys like that, but I will never, if I write a book, that day will be, it's actually crazy. I was standing there, and if Rodney will remember this, he worked out Sheldon Rankins and Grady Jarrett. Guess what?
Dang.
Both of them dudes were first rounders. I mean, Sheldon Rankins was from East Side. He goes to Louisville, and I'm going, and I'm young in the business. I'm thinking, damn, is everybody this good? Like, what's going on?
It's like, man, if he's going to Louisville, jeez.
I mean, they wouldn't like Rodney didn't think they could play. He's like, they just don't, nobody, Georgia, Alabama, Auburn, nobody offered those guys. And,
it's amazing to see. It's amazing to see it work out. It happens literally in every class and every cycle. But what do we got going over there?
Yeah, Rusty, a couple things here. First thing, I love the picture of the second best basketball player ever.
No, don't listen to him,
It's
Rusty.
a great pick.
There's a reason it's up there, Blaine.
Yeah, I'm sure. Let's go to him and Marco, 23053. He wants to know, he says, love the show. He says, do you think Georgia's O-line was snubbed for the second year in a row for the Joe Moore Award? I know some of the decision is subjective, and Michigan has a slight edge with average rushing yards by 0.1. Georgia's O-line, however, has given up less sacks and fewer tackles for loss.
I don't get into all the award stuff, but I can tell you right now, Georgia's offensive line is not getting enough publicity. Because I can tell you right now, if I walk you and that young man that answered that question up and you look at Georgia's offensive line, you would be absolute like, what? Who creates humans like this?
Yeah.
Because Broderick Jones, the left tackle, he looks like a wingman. I mean, this guy is 6'5". I watched him play high school basketball. It was crazy. Amarius Mims, who plays on the right side now, was he 6'7.5"? He carries 300 like 220. Tate Ratledge, 6'7", 335. Oh, by the way, they had an injury. They brought in Devin Willick, who's 6'7", 325 pounds. So when you look at Georgia's O-line, listen, everybody around them gets credit, but I promise you right now, that is the most underrated group. And when you go back and look at this draft and look at these guys, Cedric Van Pant, that center, he's going to be a high-level draft pick. Tate Ratledge is going to be a high-level. Warren McClendon's going to be you know what's crazy? Warren McClendon is probably their most consistent starter. He's been a 3-year starter. He's probably a 3rd or 4th rounder. The guy behind him at right tackle, Marius Mims, is going to be a 1st rounder. So you look at what they've got in that room right now. So with O-line, I think Georgia's offensive line, and I think that's the key. As we get into that Ohio State, love to be on with you guys to dig in that game a little bit.
For sure.
Obviously, the concerns with those wide receivers in that back end of Georgia secondary, we could talk an hour on that. But on the flip side, I think Georgia's offensive line against Ohio State front seven is good news for Georgia.
Well, if you're like a linebacker or a safety playing against Georgia, and you just start on one side, and you're like, yeah, I know, you're like, monster. All right, I made it through the offensive line. Oh my God, what is that? And it's Darnell Washington. So like, good luck. It only gets worse. It's like the opposite of those Russian dolls that you take off and they get smaller. Like when you take them, they get bigger. It's like the inverse of that. Go ahead, Rusty.
What they have, and I don't think Brock Bowers gets the credit for this blocking ability because Brock Bowers is he's that guy. But Darnell Washington, when you go, unbalanced, and you they do run a package with Warren McClendon. Then they bring in a Marius Mims, and then they offset Darnell Washington. So you go 6'7", 280, 6'7.5", 325, and then probably 6'5", 320 right there on the right side, and they'll motion Brock Bowers. You got to have a lot of ass over there to hold the edge.
Yeah, it's a dinosaur during the Cretaceous period.
Oh, good.
All right.
You know what I mean? So
for sure.
That's tough. Yeah.
Yeah, it's easy to set the edge when there is no edge.
Look at Harold Perkins. I mean, Georgia did not let Harold Perkins run sideline to sideline because he will flat out beat you. You know what they did? They put 6'7" humans on him.
Ran it right at him. That's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. All right, one more, Blaine.
Let's go to Georgia Jack. We always got to get our Saban Kirby Smart comparison. You know how things work. He says, Kirby Smart has nearly 3 decades left at Georgia. Could you ever see him
30 years
passing Saban as the GOAT when it's all said and done, Rusty?
Kirby Smart will not be coaching at 71. I can 1,000% tell you that.
Sure.
So I promise you on that one. You can check that one off. But in fact, those pictures, man, you see his first press conference. So some of those this week, this dude's been through a presidency. You know what I mean?
That's exactly right. So, that's what it's like. He'll be in the woods with Jimbo.
I think he would probably agree on that. $100 million in the pocket, but man. Listen, Kirby's got a lot left in him. I think Georgia right now is really building a roster sustained to get some stuff done, but to pass Nick Saban and what he's done. Look at what Nick Saban's doing right now in recruiting. I mean, this dude is 71, about to sign the #1 class in the country. He's flipping 5 stars on signing day Eve. You know what I mean? So this guy's wired different. I mean, I guess I got to start eating oatmeal pie every morning. I guess that's the secret.
Yeah.
Who'd have thought?
You know what I mean? To making it. So I don't know that you want to start putting that kind of thing on Kirby Smart. I will say this: Georgia. This is peak days, man. I don't know how long it'll last. I mean, Kirby Smart's built to recruit, and dude's wired different, like those guys that do this. But the roster they're building defensively, kids trying to go there, facilities, everything else. I think Georgia could sustain some winning quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's turned a place where you can build a massive machine into a massive machine. That's what Georgia is now. Just like Nick built it in Tuscaloosa, he has built one in Athens. And what I say, Rusty, before we let you go is, I think the game has changed so much now, it's going to be very hard to replicate what Nick did. Winning 6 in 12 years, the way he was able to kind of dominate the sport. Now that it's changed with the transfer portal, with kind of what we're seeing in recruiting with NIL, it's going to be a lot harder to have that dynastic run. But Georgia is becoming the alpha in college football. Yeah. They are becoming the bully on the block. And when you look, like you said, you came on here one time, Rusty, and said when Georgia played Alabama under Mark Richt in the SEC championship game, they looked like Alabama did for about the first 44 guys. Now they look like Alabama does for the first 85, and that's what it comes down to.
Yeah. So that was a national championship
National
morning.
championship, yep.
Yeah, so 2017, we're standing Phillips Arena that Saturday morning for media day. And Georgia walks in. I'm like, man, they got 15 or 20 big dudes. Alabama walked in, and I was like, holy, this is 85 of them? Like, all 85 look like the freaking Raiders, and now when you go look at Georgia, that's what they're building. And you go back to the first press conference, Kirby Smart said we got to get big and we got to get long. And you look with Georgia, I hear the term all the time, large humans. When you talk to some of those guys on that staff, they're looking for large humans. And that's where it is, man. You can do all the flash and all that, but you come up, you're talking about playing in the SEC and Graham Mertz. When you come into the SEC, you better be able to deal with those. I'll never forget Jacob Eason at the All-American practices, looking at Derek Brown and all those guys that were 6'6" defensive linemen in practice, and he had that glazed look in his eyes.
Yeah.
And I walked up and I said, and I was in the huddle. I said, "What's up, man?" He goes, "I've never looked eye to eye with defensive linemen." I said, "Well, you will the rest of your football days."
Guess what? Surprise, surprise, surprise.
Derek Brown just tossing people out there all week long.
Still doing it.
That probably, oh my God, it's awesome.
He's still doing it. But Rusty, speaking about still doing it, man, you always do a great job when we have you on. Tell everybody where they can find your work, and we couldn't think of anybody better to have on National Signing Day.
And I appreciate it, guys. Dogs 247 all day. Twitter at Mansell 247. Been doing some stuff all week long on just everywhere, but 24/7 sports all day. Dogs 247. Looking forward to some summer golf with you guys. And,
yes.
Getting back down here. We need to go out the night before, hit dinner in Athens, and come down. Everybody looked a little rough that morning at the Pollock tournament. I don't know if we were fresh or not, including myself. So we're gonna have to rally it up this year and have dinner before that night.
No, we definitely will. You know us. We've never lost a party. Now, once it gets on the golf course, we'll see how it goes.
I've lost a lot.
As long as I see Pollock running around on that little scooter at some point during the day.
At least we're having a good time. At least we're having a good time.
I'm on number one green, and I'm like, just don't embarrass yourself. And I pipe a pretty good one. I got my chest bowed out. David Green walks up and absolutely destroys one. I was like, well,
I'm shocked. Smooth.
I'm not hitting my driver the rest of the day.
Yeah, a quarterback's good at golf.
Hey, Rusty, real quick, I heard Coach Jeff Kaiser retired at Statesboro High School.
He did.
Did they hire a new head coach yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
So I saw Jeff. Statesboro's got a damn dude now. This guy's name's Cam McHale. He is a 2024 DB. You need to know about him. He's a 10-6, 100
Oh, that's
guy.
flying.
Who can roll now? This dude.
Let's go. Let's bring those championships back to Statesboro, Rusty.
He can hit. So I think the Statesboro job obviously is going to be a really attractive one. And went down about 2 months ago on a tour through Southeast Georgia. So big news in the state of Georgia yesterday. Grayson High School. Everybody knows Grayson High School. Adam Carter stepped down and took the Lowndes job in South Georgia. So the coaching carousel in Georgia will start moving, but that Grayson job, Grayson's got about 75 P5, prospects up there. So that will be an attractive job. But Lowndes is finishing up their 110-yard indoor. Oh, by the way, you moved to Titletown, Valdosta, and I think Adam Carter's going to be a good fit down there.
Yeah, it's always interesting to see the high school coaching carousel. All right, Rusty, appreciate you, my friend.
Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon.
All right. Well, David, it's Wednesday.
Oh, yes.
And you know what that means. There's people that are allowed on the lawn, but there's also people that are told to get off your lawn, okay? And I want you, it's signing day. I know you're going to bring the juice.
It's signing day, boys.
It's signing day. David Cohn. Father, brother, husband, son, who today is getting off your lawn, or G'ing off your L, as we say.
To all those responsible for butchering bowl game names, get off my lawn. Bowl season is a sacred time of year, and I disagree with the argument that there are too many bowls. The more football, the better. Having said that, the corporate takeover of naming rights is out of control. The origins of the original games had geographical roots. Rose for California, orange for Texas, or orange for Florida, cotton for Texas. Then, as the dollar signs grew, those games became the FedEx Orange Bowl and the All-State Sugar Bowl. And since no one seemed too bothered by that, we now have to endure the San Diego County Credit Union Poinsettia Bowl and the Cherry Bundy Tart Cherry Boca Raton Bowl. How about we go one step further and just use the company's website, like GalleryFurniture.com Bowl, Or when one sponsor just isn't enough, we get the Gaylord Hotels Music City Bowl presented by Bridgestone, which is just eerily similar to Blaine's Bowl, which is the gay stoners playing music under the bridge near the hotel.
Oh, okay.
But the worst yet has to be the Jimmy Kimmel LA Bowl. We live in a world where Jimmy Kimmel has a football game named after him, but Chuck Norris does not. You let that sink in. The one year I got to experience the Citrus Bowl, they called it the Capital One Bowl. No, it's the Citrus Bowl. Bobby Boucher didn't win the Beef O'Brady's Bowl. He won the Bourbon Bowl. See, these bowl games don't get a bad rap because Liberty is playing Toledo. We love that. They get a bad rap because the name of the contest sounds like every NASCAR hood crammed into one sentence. And marketing executives wonder why kids are opting out? If you want a 20-year-old to take your game seriously, don't make him tell his grandkids he played in the Our Stuff's Made Cheaply in China, but we still charge $1,000 for electronics bowl. How about the Gladiator Bowl or the Samurai Sword Bowl? I mean, you talk about a great swag gift. The bottom line is your brand becomes worthless when you turn the keys of it over to a different brand. If you don't believe me, just ask the Miami Heat about FTX Arena. In the meantime, get off David Cohn's lawn. Presented by Nugenics.
Very nice, very nice. You know, if you text Crane to seat 231-231, you can get a free bottle of like Thermo Boost.
Oh,
that's very good there. But no, I'm with you 100%. Absolutely 100%. And you know, we have a little stuff about some bowls here. Don't we?
Yeah. Yeah, we've come up with our best bowl names. These are some bowls to look forward to for next year, right?
Yeah, for sure.
You guys have a
for
couple
sure.
too?
Yeah, I got a couple. Hold on. Let me get my book
What are
out.
you looking at me like
God, there's a couple
That's
that
fine.
just are hot off the press. Let me get to my page here. I wrote them down because I'm a scholar and a gentleman, and in that order. Here's what we got. The one my third most excited to my first most excited.
Okay.
Okay, or actually my fourth most excited to my first. The fourth one is the FTX We Have Fake Money Bowl.
There you go.
Everybody's pretty excited about that one. My third favorite one was the Life Alert You're Not Dead Yet Bowl. And your gift is you get a Life Alert for an elderly member of your family. We have the Penicillin You're Good Now Bowl. Was very popular back in the days of Vietnam. Never got played though. And then my favorite one is named after a restaurant. It's kind of the opposite of Hooters, which is going to be interesting to see.
It's your favorite restaurant.
Well, okay, no, it's not.
You love it.
This is my favorite name.
Your
of a
favorite
bowl.
restaurant has a bowl?
No.
He loves this
No.
restaurant.
I'm confused.
His favorite
Can
thing
I
to
get
do
to this?
is go to this restaurant
No,
and
it's
eat a
not.
nice glizzy.
No, it's not.
It's his favorite.
No, it's not. But this is actual real place.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Tallywhackers Steamed Wiener Bowl.
That's his fave.
That's not.
Did you already
it's
get your
nothing like
tickets?
Well, it's funny. The logo is Blaine with
There's nothing. There's nothing
the
like.
logo is Blaine with a
There's nothing
glizzy in
like
his
Jake
hand
thinking
and
about.
a
There's
smile
nothing
on
like
his
Jake
face.
thinking about steamed wieners at 7:40 in the morning.
The logo is a picture of Blaine
Yeah.
with a steamed wiener in one hand and a smile on his face.
Oh,
Now you're just
boy.
deflecting.
Oh,
Yeah,
boy. What do you have over there for next year's bowl?
The We Don't Care About Your Pronouns Bowl. You're a guy, you can't play with girls bowl. A center for kids who can't read good and want to do other things as good as well bowl.
Yes. How big is the stadium?
Brought to you by Derek Zoolander.
Center for ants.
It needs to be 3 times bigger.
How are kids supposed to learn if they can't even fit inside?
What about the
building?
opt-out bowl?
Where everybody just
Everyone just opts out. Right when they get there, they all just opt out.
Opt-out bowl. No one plays it.
They all just
That's
opt
great.
out.
That's good.
That's fantastic. Booster Club, we're going to get some of y'all's as well.
How about this? Hold on. I have 3 of them.
You got 3 of them? Go ahead.
Yeah. So if you don't buy our stuff, my kid can't eat good bowl.
There you
Presented by Easy Mac.
There it is.
there it
Very nice.
When the pasta sticks to the ceiling, it's done cooking bowl. Sponsored by Barilla. If your sink's clogged, call Bob on Gentilly. 555-2525 bowl.
Nice. Again, congratulations to Bob. If Jimmy Kimmel can have one, why can't we? That guy sucks.
Let me ask you this right here. So I have 3 bowls that were real bowl games. And then I came up with 3 alternatives that are fake bowls.
Okay.
I'm going to give you each. You tell me which one was the real bowl game.
Okay.
All right? You guys can team up or go individually. Doesn't matter. The first one is the IBM Operating System 2 Fiesta Bowl or the Microsoft Windows 10 Gator Bowl. Which one was the real bowl?
Oh my gosh, that's actually a tough one. I would say the IBM Fiesta Bowl.
Well,
What was the other one?
IBM Operating 2 Fiesta Bowl or the Microsoft Windows 10 Gator Bowl?
I'd say the Microsoft's the real one.
It was IBM.
I had to pick the other one.
Loser. No,
All
you
right,
didn't.
next one. The AutoZone Lifetime Warranty Alamo Bowl or
God.
the Advocare V100 Independence Bowl.
Oh, I know the answer to this one. It's kind of cheating.
Blaine, which one?
The first one.
Okay.
It's the Advocare.
It is the Advocare Bowl.
0 for 2.
I have 2 more. Next one. The Poland Weed Eater Independence Bowl. The Poland Weed Eater Independence Bowl. Or the John Deere Zero Turn Riding Mower Liberty Bowl.
Oh. Give me the John Deere.
The John Deere.
Give me the Poland.
Poland.
Yeah.
Yes. Last
The
one.
Poland Weed Eater Bowl?
Last one. The Kraft Spinach and Feta Noodle Kugel Bowl.
The Crafts.
The Kraft Spinach and Feta Noodle Kugel Bowl. Or the Beef O'Brady's St. Petersburg Bowl.
Beef O'Brady's. Beef O'Brady's.
The spinach and feta was what we had for lunch yesterday.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Is it sad that I didn't even like I thought that was I'm legitimately in my mind I can see that being.
I was coming up for ideas for this segment, and I saw the spinach and feta noodle Kugel Bowl that
It's
we
genius.
had for lunch.
Taking
I
your
took a picture
surroundings
of it.
and putting them
There
in
you
your
go.
future.
I'm trying to trust the signs.
That's what life is. Well, we trust John Brinkus. That's about it. But you can trust us. If you want to watch the rest of this, remember you can listen to it if you stay here. But if you want to watch it, head over to the Daily Wire Plus and become a member. It's the cool thing to do. Everybody's doing it. Or listen on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. Subscribe, leave a 5-star review, and share it with your friends and your enemies. Because who knows? It may bring you closer together. We'll be right back with keys to victory for tonight's bowl game and our bets. All right, Blaine, back to the Booster Club. Let's read those donos and let's hear some of their bowl names.
All right, let's go to Justin Upper Decky $5 donation. He says, "Holy blank 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 Jake, I was a bouncer that stepped in between said center and Reuben Foster. It took me 3 seconds to realize that I can't break this up."
Yes, that is a true story. People think that is not a true story.
I played
we may
with-
tell it one time.
I
but
played with
not-
that center in high school.
Yeah, not use names. Be a good TikTok. Let the Chinese see what we're doing.
You want to go to some bowl names?
Yeah.
Let's go, Charles Moore, the University of Phoenix Esports Bowl. Game is played by players of the selected teams, but on the NCAA 20 XX game platform.
We just played on the new NCAA game with our hurry up and make it.
Freddie Ginger King says the Disney Trans American Bowl. Bro Now Police, the Febreze What's That Smell Bowl. The Mark Hams, the Facts Don't Care About Your Feelings Bowl,
That's a
presented
good
by
one.
Daily Wire.
There
Yes.
we go. Come on, man.
Baby Soar's Dad, the Russian Nuclear Citrus Bowl.
There you go. That's a
Freddie
scary
Ginger
one.
Gang, the Hunter Biden Cocaine Bowl.
I was going to say the Hunter Biden Laptop Bowl.
Baby Soar's Dad also said the Derek Zoolander kids learning how to read and do other stuff good too as well Bowl. The Cattle Prod Bowl, the Grand Slam Breakfast Bowl. Grandma has too many bowls. It's
Grandma
toasty.
has too many.
It's toasty in here bowl.
Yeah, Grandpa smoked too many bowls.
And the Sweet Baby Bowl.
The sweet
What about the
baby
Flaming
bowl.
Dragon Bowl?
Well, yes.
Flaming dragon.
Brought to you by Game of Thrones.
No,
and me.
no, brought to you by like some flamethrower company. By the way,
Elon
when are
Musk.
you going to dress up as a dragon and just?
I tried. She won't even order me a dragon mask. It's
PJ won't?
ridiculous, dude.
PJ won't?
It's ridiculous. Oh, PJ.
Oh, PJ. Anyway,
Too worried about getting attacked by chihuahuas.
yeah, it's tough. Don't go hang around at Taco Bell. What do we got? Keys to victory, David. We got a bowl game tonight.
Yes, and we had some bowl games yesterday as well.
Yes.
The Maction parlay paid off.
Congratulations
Thank
to
you.
you for
Eastern
picking
Michigan,
Eastern Michigan
Toledo.
and Toledo. What is that? Plus 286 yesterday?
Plus
you said?
286. Eastern Michigan not looking great in the first quarter. Turned it around.
Absolutely.
Said, let's
turned
run
it
these
around.
boys.
Toledo, neither one of those teams looked great the whole game, but they found a way to win it at the end. Toledo tried to screw me over by dropping that punt late, had them straight up, went 2-0 yesterday, but we're not talking about it.
And
Woke up
now-
this morning, just etch-a-sketch, 0-0.
And now your alma mater's on the slate tonight.
Yeah, here's what we got. All right, everybody look me in the eyes. Stop looking at me. We got Western Kentucky and South Alabama. I know Austin Reed's back for Western Kentucky, but guess who's not? His 2 offensive tackles. They're in the portal. And no, not to go with Raiden and the guys from Mortal Kombat. They're actually going to another college football team. South Alabama 10-2. Kane Womack loves what he does, loves where he's at, understands who he is. Coach's son. Think he's going to have the team ready. He's done a good job in the getting guys that can come in there and compete at important positions. You look at Webb, you look at the quarterback situation, but South Alabama's defense is the difference. That pass rush is going to get after Austin Reed. I know they have a very electric offense and some witches running around on the outside, but I like the Jags tonight. The key to victory is, again, look, put pressure on Austin Reed in the pocket. He's a sneaky runner. That's where Austin gets you. You look at him, you're like, all right, pocket passer, not worried about him with his legs. But then you go out there and he's kind of sneaky fast a little bit. He's able to extend the play outside the pocket and hit you for big plays. Make Austin Reed beat you from the pocket. They're going to throw it 300 times. You know that. I know that. We know that. Keep him in the pocket. Now, on the other side, for Western Kentucky, you don't have both your tackles. You got to get the ball out quick. Like I just said, I know you're throwing it, but that quick game, that screen game, that now game, that bubble game, that short stick game has got to be working because I don't think they're going to be able to run the ball with a lot of success. And South Alabama, while they may not have the most explosive offense, they can run the ball, they can play action. They got guys that can make the plays down the field, even though they lost Jalen Tolbert. He's with the Cowboys now. I like South Alabama in this one. Those are the keys.
Blaine, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I like South too. The reason they're 10-2, and one of those reasons is they can run the ball and stop the run.
Yep.
They're going to get after West Kentucky up front, I think. I like the under in this game. I think South's going to turn around and hand the ball off a lot. Give me the Jags. South in your mouth, baby.
Yep.
You know what? I'm going to ride with South Alabama. For the boys here.
Yes, sir.
For the brand?
For the boys, yes.
For the boys, for the brand, by the boys, by the brand.
There we go.
And on that note, speaking of brand, I'm heading over to the board of friendship, loss, triumph, tragedy, tall, short, medium. It's okay. Here we go. Yesterday, 2-0. Look, plus 11.18 units on the month. I'm taking a lot of dog bets. You look at the 31 and 33 overall record, and you're like, man, it must be just a mid-month. No, we're up in units, baby. The apartment building, it's a high-rise now. More units, more paper, more play. Tonight, give me South Alabama money line plus the under at 64.5. That is going off at plus 115. And I would like to personally thank everybody associated with Nebraska, everybody associated with North Carolina Central basketball, and everybody associated with Pittsburgh and Syracuse basketball. Y'all help me hit my 3-team parlay. Second day in a row that I've hit a 3-team college basketball parlay. We believe in you guys. I'm going to keep believing. I'll bet on you again. Some of the other teams, like, I don't know, the Commanders, never again. We'll never forgive you. You're lucky I'm not there. So that's my first bet. My second bet, we got another 3-teamer, boys. Here we go. Give me Valparaiso at home, money line. Virginia Tech, sneaky good basketball team, 11-1 right now. On the road tonight at Boston College, but I like the Hokies money line. And then the Texas Tech, or not the Texas Tech versus Houston Christians, are also known as the Christians from Houston. I want that over 145. I think Texas Tech may score over 100 points in this game.
Uh-oh.
Over 100?
I really think they would. Over 100. So those are my two bets, plus 11.18 units on the month. Come on, guys. Look, 0-0 today. Woke up feeling refreshed. Woke up feeling dangerous. The in-laws are in town. The animals are happy. Even though Millie did rip my French Bulldog puppy, come downstairs yesterday. She got a toilet paper roll and just absolutely just went Jungle Book on it.
It was a puppy. So.
Yeah, Miss Millie.
Well, no, we
that.
learned from our mistakes.
Yeah,
she got punished.
She learned that from Blaine when
we don't have bad days. We just have character development days.
Yes,
There
good
you
way to
go.
look at it. Cone,
We're
what do
going
you
full
got?
college basketball tonight. I want a little parlay here with Virginia Tech, Michigan State, Texas, and Auburn. The Auburn Tigers. Who they got? Washington, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Who's going to let you down on that parlay?
Huh?
So we know who's going to let you down on that parlay.
All right. Well, I'll have low expectations because the next one's Michigan money line playing North Carolina in the Jumpman Invitational.
Jumpman.
Yeah, the first one's minus 101. Sorry, the first parlay is minus 101. Michigan money line plus 175.
Yeah,
the line on it's minus 5.
Yeah, I mean,
But,
how's Hunter Dickinson playing?
Hunter Dickinson averaging 19 a game.
That's Dickinson since Emily.
Yeah, we all know it. Blaine, what are you going with?
All right, went 0-2 yesterday. Surprise, surprise. I'm Matt Ryaning this entire thing. It's pretty awesome to watch, isn't it? Never forget the Suns. I don't know why I picked a bunch of guys who's never won anything, never won a ring. I mean, Chris Paul, maybe if you focus on basketball, not cheating on your wife, you'll figure it out. All right, so give me NBA. Give me the Sixers. Give me the Nets. And give me the Hawks. All to win money line. That's plus 140. Can't wait for that not to hit. All right, give me USA minus 2.5 and the under at 64.5. That's plus 130. Whatever. At this point, I'm over it. Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, it is over. The month is over.
No, it's not.
Blaine, you're running away with it.
Yeah, right.
Why'd you run away with the month so early?
Yeah. All right, baby
I'm not
Cone.
running unless I'm getting chased.
Trying to get back off the schneid. He's going to take South Alabama money line minus 175 and the Las Vegas Golden Knights. No, that's not who's fighting the dwarves on Lord of the Rings. That's an actual hockey team. He wants him on the puck line, -1.5. That's -115. All right. As we're getting close to Christmas too. We got some packages, man. Finally, we found some
I
stuff.
forgot about this.
We found some stuff.
Open those bad boys up here.
All right, this is you go first.
Here, hold on.
Say who they're
Let me
from.
give Blaine something here to open.
Yeah.
No, you
something in
got it. Dude, I'm holding the iPad. You got it.
Wow, I know what this one is.
Oh, is that
Where's that
the
from?
Please
Hold on.
tell me.
There it
I
is.
know what this one is. I hope you all have a Merry Christmas with love, Laura Brown.
It's
Love
a
you,
box.
Laura.
Sent the beef jerky.
Yes.
Sent the beef jerky, boys.
Oh,
There's one.
please.
Hey, here you go.
Oh, what flavor is this?
Who cares?
One ring to rule them all, and in darkness shall bind them. Oh yeah. Okay. This is homemade.
Sugar cookies.
It's homemade.
Man.
I'm starving Marvin this morning, too. I needed
These
this.
are fantastic. Laura, thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
These are going home.
Thank you so much.
We get to each keep a bag, right?
Hold on. There's something else in here.
What is it?
A Patrick Mahomes Texas Tech player bobblehead.
Let's go.
Let's go. Thank you so much, Laura.
Wow.
Laura, you're the best.
We'll have to bust this.
I guess that's why there's a B in your name. All right,
you
here
got
we
there,
go. This
Frame?
is from Hunter Thorpe,
Hunter.
Jim's great grandson.
Great kicker.
Nashville SC hat. Okay.
There we go.
Okay. All right.
Let's go.
We're gonna rep it.
I gotta
You're
go to
getting
a
me
game.
into it. You're
I gotta
getting
go to
me
a
into it
game.
a little bit.
Yeah.
You're getting me into it a little bit.
I'm
Here,
stadium's
hold this,
nice.
hold this hat, Coney. Oh my gosh, we got the Nashville. We got this set up, boys. It's happening.
Oh, yeah, Dave.
We're expanding our horizons. All right, we got a soccer scarf here. Let me see what it is. Oh my gosh, it's a Portugal. It's a Portugal club scarf. No, this is staying with me.
Here.
This is staying with me. You can keep the hat. Is it a goalie uniform? It's a goalie uniform.
Like
Renaissance.
or just their
Or just a regular uniform. I'm used to the goalies wearing yellow. Oh, this is fantastic, Hunter. All right. We got another shirt in here. Oh, let's see what this one is.
Man, this
I
is
love
good.
opening gifts. This is getting me so hyped for Christmas. If I can figure out
This
this
beef
plastic
jerky is
bag.
amazing.
really good.
Oh, we got a note
needed
too.
it.
Let's see here.
What's that one?
Oh
It's a Titans
my
jersey.
stars. Guys, come on now.
That's
Look
so
at
dope.
that.
Come on now.
Come on.
Come on now. Titans jersey.
I
You'll
can't wait to
love
hang all this up.
to see it.
This one again?
This is Hunter Thorpe, our guy.
Appreciate it, Hunter.
Hunter, we are going to put this
XD.
all around the set, and I may steal this scarf.
No. For
I
the
think I'm
set.
probably have to. Actually, I made the decision. And there's a note here. Let me make sure. Oh, yeah. This is fantastic. So it's a Nashville SC jersey, Nashville FC hat, Sporting CP soccer scarf, Julio Jones Titans jersey. We are going to totally decorate the set with this.
Yep.
Hunter, do not worry about it, buddy. He says, new bin, came for Crane & Co. and stayed and subbed for Crane & Co.
Let's go.
Spread the
Thank you so
word.
much, man.
Like, go with the bird. Hunter, thank you so much, my friend. We need to surprise these people with some merch or something.
Man, look at this thing. The Texas Tech Patrick
Dude, we got that with the
Mahomes.
Hugh Freeze Old Liberty bobblehead and the
Hey.
beef jerky.
Hold on.
Don't
I can
mess
figure it
up.
out.
Don't
I
mess
can
up.
figure this out.
Don't mess it up. Poll.
Oh.
All right, one thing I want to get to first. The poll is who has the better beard. I saw on the Real Daily Wire they did a thing where who has the better beard between Matt and Ben, and I wasn't included.
Yeah.
It kind of hurt my feelings.
What's the
your
deal with that?
mustache, though.
No, I'm a beard. I'm both. It kind of hurt my
Hey,
feelings.
Leah
a little bit.
Thomas.
I just wanted to feel okay. I'm not pretending to not have a wiener, so I don't. But
had
it
to
kind of hurt my
pretend.
feelings a little bit. Really felt excluded in that manner. So whatever. But who has a better beard? Matt Walsh, Ben Shapiro, or me?
Okay.
That's the poll?
Yeah.
They said you, 41%. This beef jerky is freaking.
This
said
bag's not
you-
making it out of here.
They said you 40%.
They said Matt Walsh 52%, Ben 12%, me 36%. I'll take it.
Okay.
Walsh is beard guy. Walsh is
Yeah.
beard guy.
But apparently it has nothing under it.
No,
not even a
it
chin.
surprised me. I heard there was a
Really?
walrus under it. I do want to read this really quickly, though. It says this is from Hunter Thorpe. Hey, fellas, hope you are having a great day. Tacone, the man, the myth, the legend. Get Off My Lawn is one of the best sports segments on the planet.
Facts.
Keep it up, David, Michigan. We all know it's you. To me, to Jake, the one who comes up with the best jokes and intros to the show, always makes the show a delight to start. Remember, trust the signs. Always will. Shout out M. Night Shyamalan. To Blaine, friend of Austin Eckler, and most importantly, Flaming Dragon. Don't back down on the criticism of these mid QBs, Stetson Bennett, Kirk Cousins, and Ryan Tannehill. Remember to always keep me locked at all times, because safety is always key. Yours truly, Blaine's borrowed car.
That's Blaine's borrowed car. Yes.
Yes. Bag.
We're here right now.
You love to see it.
All right, look at this, boys.
God, I'm telling you,
That's dope.
it's all happening.
That's dope, man.
It's all happening.
Got recognized in Publix the other day. Well,
Nice.
yesterday.
By the police or like by people?
I can't tell.
Okay. Well, you know, I'm still getting recognized. Speaking of that, I'm trying to get done with beef jerky so I can end the
Take
show.
your time. Enjoy
So
it.
good. I'm really savoring the flavors.
It is
Really,
good.
you know, versatile beef
It's so
jerky.
good, dude.
It really, I like
needed
crispy
this.
like this. Me too. It's a good brekkie. We appreciate you guys. Make sure you're subbed everywhere. Rusty Mansell, you're the man. We got some great content coming tomorrow, 7:30 to 9 Eastern. Enjoy signing day. Let me give you a couple tips. Number one, you will most likely be both excited and disappointed by what happens today. So get ready for that. And number two, if somebody flips from your school to another one, that guy was overrated. He sucked anyway. But if somebody flips from another school to yours, it's a diamond in the rough and a steal of a lifetime. Never forget that. And like the chances of any of the other top schools getting any of the top offensive linemen when it really comes down to it, we're gone.